Hello there. Taking a look today at Unloved. This is a horror survival FPS for the PC. This is one of those games that it really needed more time in development to reach its true potential. It tries to go wide with the number of options it have when really I think it would have been better off just bringing in some of those options and focusing more on what it wanted to be. There are options galore in this game, but there's not a lot of information on most of them. I ended up going to the Steam page to understand some of the options. You can play the game online with other people, but, I have no friends, so I'm just going to play single player. The game kicks off with tons of options once you select a profile. You can customize the look of your character, but since you don't actually see your character unless you're playing in multiplayer, and even then you're seeing the other person's character, not yours, I didn't really spend any time looking at that. The key items when you're selecting your game that you want to play are picking the room size and picking the gameplay mode. The default gameplay mode is sort of a slow-moving FPS where if you want to pick up guns or you want to pick up ammo or anything like that, it takes a couple seconds to pick it up, and during that time monsters can and will try and attack you. The arcade mode is a much faster paced mode, the trade-off being that you can pick up items instantly, but monsters spawn just more and more often in that mode. There are other modes as well, but they seemed a little gimmicky, so I didn't take a look at them. To give you an idea, one of the modes was one where time doesn't progress unless you're moving. Well, that's a novel idea. I think for something like that, you need to have a whole game built around it, not just an add-on gimmick mode. When you start off, you're in a centrally located room, and you've got a small stockpile of pistol ammo in there. You do begin the game with a pistol, but nothing else. There's an on-screen map in the top right corner that will fill in as you're playing the game. It's not an exact map as you're exploring. It will give you an idea of the layout of the room. It shows a square, but the rooms aren't square themselves, and they may have sub-rooms in them, but it does at least give you an idea of where you need to go. Rooms can be gated off by different colored seals. I think there's red, blue, yellow, and maybe another. And to unlock that room, you've got to go find the correct color seal. And there's nothing in the map that will tell you where the seal is, so you've got to explore for it. But as a nice kind of bonus, once you get in the general vicinity of one of the seals, it'll put an online marker on not on your map, but actually on the screen, so you know where to go. The starting weapon is a pistol, and all the other guns you have to find as you're playing. The guns are pretty typical for an FPS. There's shotguns, railguns, SMGs, things like that. Ammo for the weapons is just found randomly laying around, and the ammo is specific, so you can't use pistol ammo in an SMG or anything like that. However, since the weapons are randomly spawned, it was not uncommon that I would be playing and I would have a full stockpile for all the different guns, but all I had was the pistol because I hadn't actually found the gun yet. That was kind of a bummer. All of the weapons do have a secondary option, but unfortunately the only really interesting one, I think it was the railgun, which lets you shoot a grenade. The other secondary options were fairly generic, like the pistol. The secondary on it was you could shoot much faster, but it wasn't as accurate. Interestingly, you can find upgrades for your guns on the map, things to increase like the clip side or the amount of damage. It's not uncommon to find, again, upgrades for a weapon that you don't actually have yet, so that can be a little bit frustrating. The monsters are a cross between older Doom-style monsters and maybe Silent Hill monsters. The monsters look like either they're demons or they're something that were designed to give you a jump scare. Most of them follow the same pattern. They'll try and rush at you, and if you're too far away, they'll shoot fireballs at you, or they'll shoot a pistol at you, depending on which one they are. Most enemies go down pretty quickly, with large demons taking more hits. The demons spawn randomly, and they spawn constantly on the map, with very little slowdown in between. This was actually the showstopper for me, so let me lay out the scenario of the problems that culminate in this game. So I'm playing a game, I'm searching for one of the seals, and I have to backtrack where to find it. So enemies are spawning behind me, and I'm going into rooms that I've already been in. Enemies are spawning not only behind me, but they're spawning in the rooms to the side, and they're shooting at me and rushing me. So I spend half my pistol ammo clearing out the area that I was just in, and I move on to the next room. I repeat the process again, and now there's at least pistol ammo lying around, so I pick it up. But as I'm picking it up, monsters are pouring in. They're attacking me, so I can't pick it up because they're just taking down my health as fast as they can. But I persevere. I move on to the next room. Now, I'm not doing good with health. I'm starting to run low. And the next room is a smaller room with just one way in and one way out. So I go through the room. monsters spawn again, and they're coming from both sides. It's a small room, so I can't maneuver. And there's furniture in this game, and this furniture must be bolted down to the floor because you can't move it. So I'm in this small room, enemies are coming in, I don't have any room to maneuver at all because now I'm stuck on the chair, so I can't backpedal. My only weapon is the pistol, despite the fact that I have full ammo for everything else, and then I die. And at this point, I'm about maybe 5 to 10 minutes into the game, so I really don't want to start it again. It was a cheap death, compounded with the furniture that doesn't move out of the way, and this happened on all 3 of my playthroughs eventually. I did try it in arcade mode, thinking, well, since I can pick up ammo instantly, that'll relieve the issue, but in arcade mode, it's just insane. The monsters never stop coming once you get a couple minutes into the game. And ammo is not unlimited, so you have to be a little bit careful. I guess basically what I'm saying is this game has an identity crisis. It tries to be a slow-paced game where you have limited ammo and you're trying to explore the rooms and find things, but then, typically about 5-10 minutes into the game, it's like the AI just decides, okay, now this is going to be a run-and style game, and we're just going to spawn monsters on top of you non-stop, and the game mechanics don't support that. You don't have unlimited ammo, you don't have a way to dodge or instantly get out of the way, so the game it kind of shoots itself in the foot halfway through, and it goes back to what I was saying initially. The game just needed more time. Maybe it needed to rein in some of the options, and otherwise I think the game really did have potential. Now, there are mods you can purchase once you finish a level that will add on to your character and make them a little stronger and change the gameplay style, but for me personally, the fun value wasn't there. I don't want to spend 20 minutes at worst into a level trying to clear it out and then die at the end to a cheap death and not get really hardly any currency. I admire what the developer was going for, and I really wish the gameplay gelled well with all the unlock options, but it doesn't. I'd recommend this game for anyone who enjoys punishing FPS shooters and doesn't mind 20-minute playthroughs that could result in cheap deaths, but as for me, I'm done with the game and I'm giving it a pass.